Tottenham Hotspur outclass and destroy Aston Villa at Villa Park. Unai Emery, could his team be about to bottle such a commanding, such a dominant, such an advantage that they had in the race for Champions League football, which would be a huge reward for a team such as Villa for what has been an excellent season in the large parts, but they're at home today where their form has been great, but they were poor, if the truth be told. John McGinn adding insult to injury with a ridiculously stupid, you could even argue dangerous, disgusting, disgraceful challenge on Adogi, gets himself sent off. So insult to injury, even a goal. Timo Werner bagging on you is just an absolute embarrassment. It is. And Spurs have put themselves into a very, very commanding position indeed. I want you to hit the like button for us today, though. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. 1 second. I want to change the title. I forgot to change it. I forgot to update it. Sorry, my people. It was a late night last night because I was watching my boy Michael Venom Page smash it in the UFC. So I was up really, really late. So I've only been awake a couple of hours. So I'm a little bit off key. But yes, look, it was an absolute demolition job in the end by Tottenham. Not a huge amount of shots and chances today. 10 for Aston Villa. Only 7 shots today on goal from Tottenham. 3 of which were on target. I don't, according to this here. So I don't quite know how they score. How did you score 4 goals if you have 3 shots on target? That makes sense. That's just what the stats say. I'm a liar. Sorry, it's updated. 9 shots they had, 5 were on target. It's updated. I refresh it. That looked a bit weird. But look, they destroyed them in terms of being clinical. Putting 4 goals. Doesn't matter, you only had 9 shots. They scored 4 goals today, Tottenham. They've put top 4. They've put a Champions League finish. And I do believe it is something to be encouraged about. A lot of people, they do this cliche. They do this poor level banter of, oh, top 4's not a trophy. But nobody's saying that it is. But finishing in the top 4 gives you the opportunity of winning one of the biggest trophies in the world. So it is something to be encouraged about. It gives you more income. It gives you more chance of signing better players. It gives you the opportunity to grow. So I think it is a positive thing to achieve. And Spurs laid a huge marker down on that today. Now, breaking down Tottenham's goals. Listen, there was some very, very good goals today. The pick of the bunch with the opening goal. And obviously, James Maddison with a well-timed run, an excellent finish that was hard. And someone said it's a tap-in. It wasn't just a tap-in, the height of the ball, the speed of the cross, the spin on the ball. Maddison had to get it perfect, and he did. But for me, Sarr deserves so much credit. He was off balance, running at full speed to whip that ball in at the right height, in the right position where the goalkeeper couldn't claim it, the defenders couldn't intercept it, was absolutely phenomenal. It was an amazing, amazing goal indeed. 3 minutes later, listen, pounce on the silly, silly mistake from Aston Villa. Brennan Johnson scores again. I know there's still lots of question marks over him from a lot of Spurs fans, but comes up with another important goal. And I felt that sealed the game at that point. Then you get the ridiculous red card from John McGinn. He should be utterly embarrassed. He should forfeit a month's salary, 110%. If not, he should be fined it, because it wasn't trying to win the ball when he mistimed a tackle. It was a kick. Now, some will say it's a trip. Far too much ferocious velocity in that for it to be a trip. He kicked out of the man, tried to disguise it as a trip, rightfully sent off. And then the game kind of petered on, and Spurs were the more dominant side. And then 2 very, very late goals. One from Son, who I didn't realize he scored 159 goals for Tottenham. And then Timo Werner capping the day off. By the way, Son today, 2 assists and a goal. From a GA perspective, another very important performance from him. And Spurs have put themselves into a commanding position. They have a game in hand against Chelsea, which I think they will win. Chelsea are not a very good team right now. And if they're able to win that, they go with 10 games remaining. Spurs will be inside that top 4. And I said it a few weeks ago, and I thought maybe I was wrong about this. With Aston Villa, they went on a good run. But watching them today, I know a lot of people have this is only a bit of a joke. I don't mean it in a horrible way. I got called out last week by Lee Gunner. You don't cover Aston Villa. Well, Aston Villa are not part of the makeup of my channel, which covers what I call the traditional top 6 teams, the biggest 6 teams in England, the wealthiest 6 teams in England. But we have obviously spoken about them on many, many shows. And I'm not convinced about Unai Emery. I always think Unai Emery is a bit of a shrinking violet. I think Unai Emery is a type of manager that when there is no pressure, when there is no expectation, I think he thrives. When he is not under the spotlight, when the media attention is not upon him, I think he flourishes. But as soon as he comes into the light, he's like a gremlin in that way. He's great in the dark. He's great in the shadows. But as soon as he sees the bright lights, it hurts him. It's painful for him. And Villa today came a cropper. Super Sunday, millions of people around the world watching. An opportunity to go 8 points clear of Spurs, which would have almost guaranteed top four for them. Could I see a 9-point swing in the last 10 games? Probably not, because both sides are going to drop points. There's no doubt about that. But I think the momentum has now swung into Tottenham's favour. And listen, there's a lot of people all year, especially a lot of Arsenal fans who don't like Arteta, that have waxed lyrical and raved and praised about Unai Emery. Look what he's done inside 2 years. We should have kept him as our manager. There's been Man United fans that have said, Terry, we should look at taking him to Man United. No, this is not a defense of Ten Hag. I think he must leave, but Unai Emery is not the man. When the light shines brightest, he shrinks, he falls away. He has not got the stomach. He has not got the appetite. He has not got the facilities, big man, to manage the big teams. It's the pressure. It's the mental fatigue. And often a team is a reflection of their manager's approach to football and attitude and behaviors. And I think we're seeing that with Aston Villa. And it's a few times that's happened to them. Their back-to-back defeats to Manchester United shouldn't have been happening. Today, their home form, I'm not saying they should have beaten Spurs, but it was the way they lost. And Spurs deserved it. They pressed well. They were ferocious. They were aggressive. But so many mistakes today from Aston Villa. And it's all in the head. It's only a few weeks ago they bossed the best team in the world, Man City, at the stadium, when the pressure wasn't on. Since the pressure's there, done. Terry is so reactive. It's a good challenge, but Naomi, I'm not reactive in any capacity. Today's performance backs up a long-standing view that I've held of him as a manager. That's not about being reactive. That's about being honest. I think Unai Emery is a very good coach. I think Unai Emery gets excellent results out of smaller clubs, not small clubs, smaller clubs than the big boys. But the point I'm making is this: the amount of gooners, especially I saw this year, talk about how they should have kept Unai Emery and we shouldn't have Mikel Arteta. Doesn't mean Arteta's going to win you the league. But this is your king. This is your king. Absolute bottle jobs they were today. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. A super chat here from my brother Jerome. He says, I could understand that Villa player midweek. That Villa played midweek and are not that fresh, but Timo Werner scored. That is beyond embarrassing for their so-called fortress. But yeah, they did play midweek, but I'm not having this fatigue nonsense. Whenever in the last few years, that's come into question. Playing twice a week. So many players of Champions League teams say that they prefer it. They feel fresher. They feel fitter. They don't have as long to dwell over games. They don't have as long to build up negative energy. They don't feel like They just feel like it's a more relaxed environment when it's 2 games per week. As soon as a team starts losing, we can't cope with 2 games per week. Mental weakness. Why? Listen, if Villa can't cope with 2 games per week, why are you striving to get into the Champions League? You're going to play 2 games a fucking week. And the Thursday night, Sunday thing is the biggest load of bullshit in the history of football. No one's ever moaned about Wednesday to Saturday. So what's the difference between that and Thursday to Sunday? When you get an extra day's break between the weekend games when you're playing Europe, it's a load of old, excuse my French, it's a load of old bollocks. I hear it all the time on Sky, Talk Sport. No one ever calls it out. They need some proper pundits on those shows that are just going to turn around and go, what a load of old shit you're talking, you mugs. Because it's just bollocks. Absolute BS. And we all know it. Not you, Jerome. You're a ledge. I'm bringing Kate on. I'm bringing man like Deji, who does have the weirdest way of saying club. His club. Love it. And we've got man like Alan coming onto the show as well. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. If I haven't said, a few people have said, are you scared of Spurs? Listen, I'm scared of me as a United fan, I'm scared of everyone, bro. I'm scared of everyone. Genuinely, like, everyone played better football than us. Spurs have been a decent team this year. Praised them many, many times. And if Daniel Levy and co back Big Ange, not with spending money, because Spurs do spend big money. They do. One of the biggest spenders in the world over the last 5, 6, 7 years. In fact, in Premier League history, I think they're 5th all-time spending. Forget net spend, it's not real. If they back him by giving him the right players, it's not about money spent, it's the right players. You could spend £50 million and improve your squad for Ange versus spending 300 million and make it worse. It's not about the totality of money spent, it's the correct individuals. If they do that for Big Ange, they're going to be a dangerous side, because Big Ange is legit. He's a legit manager. There's no doubt about that at all in my mind. Terry, you're an Arsenal fan. That's a good joke, that. I know I put a tweet out saying I'm on loan to them with me in an Arsenal kit, but some people didn't read the full thing. The final line says, and if you're taking this seriously, you need to delete Twitter and get a life. Legit. It's dead banter, bro. Like, please help me, Master Beta. I like the name. I was about to say, if your girlfriend sees you do this, but with a name like that, you don't have a girlfriend, do you? Not saying, bruv. Pure stains on your mattress and you did them yourself. Right, let's get the boys out now, and Kate, of course. The wonderful, the delightful Kate. Welcome back to the show, everybody. How are you all? Congratulations on the win.
Good.
Yeah, good performance. Second half of
this. Kate, over to you. 4-0. Loads of goals, top 4 back in your control.
Thank the Lord. Something to celebrate, and a nice Mother's Day present as well. Happy Mother's Day to any ladies out there that are mums as well. Brilliant second half performance. I was hoping we'd come out all guns blazing, but the first half was a bit, I think we kind of cancelled each other out. Everything seemed a little bit edgy, and there's a lot at stake at this game, and you could see it. But the second half, we came out, played our game, bossed the game. Some brilliant performances today. I thought Kulu in the second half was brilliant. Porro was brilliant. Johnson was brilliant. Sonny had a good second half. With our quality and their implosion, it was a fantastic result for the Spurs. And it's a statement we needed to make to say, we want this top 4 spot. And good win. Something nice to smile about at last.
Absolutely. And yes, happy Mother's Day to you and all the other wonderful mothers that are out there. Deji,
yes.
Talk to me about your club today.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my club did what I thought we were going to do. Just bear with me a moment. Sorry. Let me come back. Just bear with me.
All right, no worries. I'll swing across to Alan. Father duties. I understand it completely. Talk to me, Al. Talk to me, brother.
Look, that first half, I agree with Kate. We kind of cancelled each other out. We started well, didn't do much with it, and then they came back into it. It was one of them first halves that's typical of Spurs recently. That second half performance, though, from the off, high intensity, on the front foot, pressing Villa and pressing well this time, not just running it all like individually, everyone as a unit, catching them high up the pitch. For a lesson to Kulusevski and Brennan Johnson, what Sarr did for that first goal, that's how you put in a ball. None of this silly cut back and waste. That is how you put in a ball. Sarr, our box-to-box midfielder with a quality ball, Maddison getting on the score sheet. And after that, Villa imploded. I want to just be honest for a second. McGinn, that was absolutely dirty. You've intentionally gone to injure that player, to injure Udogie. Absolutely disgusting. They've got a habit of doing that with Spurs, but it didn't happen this game. It cost you, and then it cost you a 4-0 slapping. It was a bad evening at the office for Unai Emery, but I'll take that with Spurs. We had to beat Villa today. We've now 2 points behind with a game in hand. We've got such a tough run in. We had to put Villa under pressure to make them crumble. Like I said, Terry, last time, I'll say it again. I'm not worried about United in the background. You do what you're doing and all that. You're not a threat. We need to do that. It's me being absolutely honest. And obviously Spurs, we now need to build on this in the run-up to those hard-runner fixtures. But if Aston Villa crumble for the rest of the season like they did today, top 4 for Spurs is guaranteed. Until that, those Spurs have to continue what they're doing. Much better second half. I'm just surprised it took so much time for certain players to come off that pitch. Actually, Kulu lasting the whole game. Absolutely, there was a bit of a poor take. But Werner, what a goal from him. Literally, I think he's got his shooting boots on now. That goal gave him confidence last week. a massive performance, brilliant, happy with the team. And yeah, hopefully on to the next, another 3 points for Spurs.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll shoot back to Dej. Thank you, Alan. Obviously now sorted out the Rugrats. I know the pain, mate. I know the pain at times. Yeah, a brilliant day in the office. Really, 4 goals, Champions League football in your hands. You must be over the moon,
mate. I am over the moon, but part of me wants to just say that that's what my club does. And that's what we do. A lot of people might have been surprised by that result, but I wasn't. And actually, for me, I said it the other day. People tried to go at me about the Wolves result, and I said, look, Tottenham's first 11 can go toe to toe. I think I said it last time I was on here, Terry, that can go toe to toe with Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City. And if it can go toe to toe, if that's truly the case, then I expected Spurs to blow away Aston Villa today. Blow away. And that's exactly what my team did. We were too strong. And I just couldn't understand why Villa fans with their little 5 minutes of fame were shaking their bum violently for their team, because this is what we did to them when they came to our ground. Just remember, the only difference is we just didn't score that day. The difference with today's performance is we managed to get the ball in the back of the net. But both games, we dominated Aston Villa. Look, for me, it was what we needed to see, because usually when Spurs have an opportunity to do something, like Alan was saying, or to go closer or to state their claim, that's when Spurs over the years have fallen off. Today, with all the pressure, we stepped up and we did a fantastic job. And big up to Postecoglou for what he's doing. Big up Pape. People have been shaking their bum for Basmati, but can we just shake our bum for 1 minute for Pape Sarr? What a player. He is absolutely brilliant, sourcing in that midfield. And for me, the only way is up for Spurs. I am over the moon. I am delighted because Aston Villa were part of the so-called big teams, and we disposed of them. The one team in the Big Six, by the way, to beat Villa in their gaff. So, yeah, I'm very, very happy. That's not true.
Man, right, strangely enough, my club did it.
I didn't say Big Six.
All the crap.
No, okay.
And we're in the top 6. We're 6. We're there, mate. We're with you. We're with you. Cool. But I will say this, Edge. I agree with you. A few people in the comments saying you're chatting waffle. On your day, you can go toe to toe with all the big teams. We know that because you've had really good results against some of the big teams this year. So the idea that Tottenham on their day can't beat them or get points off them is it's crazy to even think and suggest that. Young Daniel, Mr. D-Mizzy.
Why is my camera so blurry? Why is my camera so blurry? I don't know.
You're D-Mizzy. That's why it's carry on.
Speak to us, Mizzy.
Hey, but getting 3 points at Villa Park is not for everyone. It's not for everyone, right? Man City, Arsenal, hold that one. Hold that one, big man. But let me just say before I get into my analysis on this performance, McGinn, you're disgusting. And it's not only McGinn, by the way. There was a lot of moments in this game where you see tackles being made where it was obvious that there was no intent to win the ball and it was just to injure the player. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. And I think that has to do with Unai Emery, because this is a couple times now with Aston Villa where we're just playing them in the maybe it's like an instruction that he's, but something has to be like focused. And it was a doggy most of the time as well. But look, that first half, a lot of domination of the ball, but very little chances. And that's a lot like our last game against Crystal Palace. Most of the game was just dominating the ball, but like 0 chances being created. They had a couple chances. Mickey van der Ven, this guy is a damn cheat code. This guy is a cheat code. It should be illegal to have him in our team. It should be illegal. This guy is too good. Like every time he just recovers, his pace is incredible. But like later into the second half, we started getting more into the game. Kulusevski, I think, had a poor performance, but those first 2 goals were mainly him that created them. The first goal,
3.
The third, I don't know about. I think for sure the first 2 goals was him. I don't know about.
But
3.
he got the assist on the third. How are you going to say he didn't do anything on that third goal?
Who's the third goal? 3 goals.
It was
right,
that past the sun. He was involved in the first 3 goals.
3 goals. Three goals involvements for him. I think the first goal he had fantastic to the way that he linked up with Porro. Second goal he did very well. He did very good as well. But in overall, I think his performance wasn't good. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Kulusevski's performance was good today. But my last point is gonna be Brennan Johnson. This guy on the left is a different footballer. I remember the last time I was on Alan, I told you Brennan Johnson, when he plays on the left, is a different player. He's miles clearer than when he plays on the right. if we're gonna play him, I prefer for sure. I prefer to play him on the left and the right. He's a different player. I'm telling you right now, he's a different player.
When you say different player, because I know there's been a lot of Spurs. It was going to be one of my talking points to you all today. A lot of Spurs fans kind of criticize Brendan Johnson. Is he really worth the £50 million? Do you think he is, Dan? Is he proving that on that left hand side?
He's not worth the 50 million pounds, obviously, but it's not his fault that that's his price tag. Like, we've done a lot of stupid deals over the last couple of years. He hasn't obviously proved it, but I think we shouldn't be just hitting him because of his price tag. He has no control over that. That's just the amount that we're willing to pay for him. But I think we just look at him as a footballer and take the price tag out of the question. And I think if you look at it, his performances on the left have been way better than his performances on the right this season.
No,
I don't know. In regards to his whole play in general, I thought today, regardless of whatever side he was on, I know it was left today, but Brendan Johnson for me showed a little bit of the things that I think all Spurs fans have been asking. Show some chest, show some heart, show that you're a grown-up. I know you have your mother as your lock screen. It's very sweet and it's cute, but show them that you're a man. And today he did. Who was the first person that got in McGinn's little rat face when he did that dirty challenge? It was Brendan Johnson. That shows me that this guy's starting to come along.
Romero was holding him back. Romero was
Douglas
holding
Luiz
him back.
chokeholding Heung-Min Son as well. We're not going to talk about it. What I would say to all of them is good evening. I will say about 7 times to them, good evening every single time. These guys actually thought that, like, I love what Deji said. These Aston Villa fans were all twerking at the thought of beating us again, getting 6 points. We were better than them the first time we played. Son had a hat trick of offside goals the first time we played. I'm just glad that they did what everyone's asking Ange Postecoglou to do. Give up on his philosophy and try something else to get the win. That's what they did. They sat 5 at the back in that first half, and we couldn't break them down. The second half, they tried to change it up a little bit. Yeah, they were good on the counter, but at the end of the day, Ollie Watkins is overhyped. I'm not buying this Ollie Watkins hype. Man got pocketed left and right. Udogie was out of position pocketing him. Cuti Romero showing why I believe he's top 5 in the league, and I would say top 3, and that's not even a debate. But to me, honestly, Van de Ven going down is a big miss for us. I think he's such a clean tackler. He's obviously a cheetah and a Lamborghini type of speed. I enjoy watching him very much. But look, again, Kulusevski, he had a very bad first half. He had, I think, 20 touches in the first half. It was just non-existent, basically. Brendan Johnson had 46, something like 26 more touches than he did in the first half. I thought Brendan Johnson, Van de Ven were our 2 brightest spots in the first half. Second half, everything goes out the window. I think Kulusevski must have been listening to my watch along because he came out and contributed to the first 3 goals. I mean, Dan, I hear you, but I just vehemently disagree. I don't think he had a bad game at all. Bro was involved in the first 3 goals, and he had a poor game. I would love to see his good game then, because
I'm not
he's
saying his
contributing
overall
to 3 goals.
performances.
right.
Every time he would get on the ball, it would look like he had absolutely no confidence in what he's gonna do. His decision making was super poor. Just because he had 3 good moments in the game that he was lucky ended up to a goal, I don't think it means anything.
Dan, I want to ask, was his decision making poor, or was it the execution of those decisions? Because I don't think he made the wrong choices. He just didn't execute at the final ball. But I thought he was dangerous. He was a constant threat.
He was a constant threat, but every time you get into the final third, it's like he was always be second guessing himself, like, oh, should I take the shot? Should I pass it to Son? And then I remember one where he cuts inside and takes a shot, and Son like starts screaming at him. I've never seen Son angry. That's like one of the first times I've seen Son angry.
Oh, he's been angry all year. Since he became a captain, Son's been very vocal. There's been compilations of people who just sit there and film Son all 90 minutes, and they've put together, I saw in the first half of the season, 7 minutes of Son yelling at players for not passing him the ball. There was another chance as well that I think it was Kulu took the shot on rather than play him in. He was yelling at him. I think that may have been the chance you're talking
That's
about.
the one I'm talking
Son's
about,
very vocal. Son's always mad this year. He's very upset with players when they don't play him in. And I think that that's a good thing. I think that also just speaks to the fact that he is a quality captain. And anyone who says he isn't, I disagree.
Look, I'll just be absolutely honest. Look, I've always said Kulu, and Kate can agree with me on this. Me and Kate have had a disagreement about Kulu before in the past. I said that I think he was a great player, and Kate was holding the opposite effect, saying he wasn't. I hold Kulu to a higher standard. I think he's a great player. But recent weeks, he hasn't been at it. Today, he had moments in build-up to play and all that and passing that, but every single player had that on the pitch, both for both teams and all that. That doesn't count for anything. I'll be honest, Kulusevski today, his performance has been poor recently. Today, Kulusevski was pretty much shit for all game. I'll be absolutely honest. Literally, his decision making was poor. The amount of times in the first half where he had to take on his man, and they just kept taking the ball off of him and getting out. The amount of times where he beat a man in the second half and just kept turning back and coming backwards. It was a guy void of ideas, and it looks like
straight. This is so weird.
What
What is going on? He was involved. He built up the first 2 goals. He assisted the third, and he had a shit game. This is wild.
Jacob,
bro. Spurs fans are never happy with nothing.
No, I'm happy with that performance. And
how did he have a shit game when he contributed to the first 3 goals?
Jacob, let me finish my point. This is how I'm not biased. This is why I don't just come in here. Whatever, if Spurs win 4-0, I don't just come in here and go, everything's fantastic and everything, like you can call it out. Brendan Johnson today was better than I've seen. No, it's been me being honest. Brendan Johnson today was actually the best I've seen him play. Now, was he perfect? Absolutely not, but he's a youngster. But I saw him drive, I saw him take, I saw him the fight. I agree with you there, Jacob. The fight. When that tackle happened, Brendan Johnson a couple of weeks ago would have been a boy and be like, what's going on? But he was in his face, showed heart, showed desire, showed passion. He was much better than what Kulusevski was today. Now, you can have little bits in build-ups and like playing like, yeah, okay, he assisted the third goal when he had the rule of like so much room because they were down to 10 men. That's when Kulusevski come alive, and he still didn't come alive to a full effect as what he has done in recently for Spurs. He's, for me...
So the link-up play with Pedro Porro on that right for the second goal.
I now think that there is a problem on that right-hand side that Spurs need to fix. I really do.
Right, so when Pedro Porro and him played that nice little 1-2 that built up for the second goal, that doesn't count. When the first goal, when he turned and man and bodied another guy and laid it off for Sarr, that doesn't count either.
Moments. We said that. He had moments in that, but that doesn't negate...
3 moments leading to 3 goals, but he had a shit game. What are we talking about?
Porro, 3 moments leading to 3 goals, so he should be on the same level. Who else was involved in that? You can't just go because somebody does a pass that leads to a goal, the pre-assist to the pre-assist or whatever
he won the ball back, and we picked the ball up and scored. That sounds like he contributed, in my opinion.
He wasn't good today,
Jacob. The overall performance.
Kate, can I just jump to Kate? I'd love to get your take on this, Kate, as well, please.
I am the biggest Kulu hater there is. I criticise him, but I thought he was excellent in the second half. I thought he was brilliant. He was key in 3 of our goals. It's hard to say that. If you watch the game, he had 3-4 people around him all the time. There's only so much he can do, but he was pivotal in 3 of our goals. So I cannot understand how that can't be a good thing. I mean, like I say, I think he's too slow for this system. I don't particularly like him as a winger. But for me, it's best game I've seen him play, or best half of a game I've seen him play for ages. And I would put him on the same sort of score player rating as Sarr, as Johnson, because of the impact he's had on the game by getting those 3 goals for us.
But
yeah,
we can disagree.
I agree with Kate.
I just think
I'd rather have Kulu. I mean, for me, I kind of agree with what everyone's been saying to a certain extent. I think the first half he wasn't great, but the second half he was a lot better. I think really what we're all really saying is we probably expect more from Kulu, because when he came in and he burst into the scene, I had him up there with Saka. I thought him and Saka could go toe to toe. And then from that point, he kind of dropped off a bit. No, let's be real. He's dropped off and he's never really been the same. But he did have a much better second half. But I also take Alan's point. The first time we're agreeing that I actually thought even Brendan Johnson, for me, was more effective because he was getting more into the kind of challenges and he was having the battles. We just want to see Kulusevski just do what he used to do before. Win the ball, take the ball down the line, whip the ball in. A bit like when Pape Sarr went down the line and whipped the ball in. If we saw more of that, and that's why I've been calling for us to go out and get Pedro Neto. But that's another discussion. The other thing I just wanted to say is why Udogie is the best left back in the league, because he had Leon Bailey doing the dirty one on the right hand side of that pitch all by himself. And I just think what a fantastic player, and he led to McGinn getting a red card and being sent off. For me, I just want to big him up as well. Big up Postecoglou. The only other thing I would just say with Spurs is this whole thing of we only start playing football only in the second half. I wish we could just start a lot stronger, because that first half was a little bit worrying from my perspective. But then the end result was the end result, and I'm delighted with that.
Yeah, I've got to agree with Deji, and we hardly agree. But Doji today was absolutely sensational, carrying the ball up. That, like, the amount of times he rode passes, went past people, and literally they were hacking at him. Sarr, I thought, was not as good as he has been in the first half, but the second half, I thought he just came into his own. Like I said, just how you whip a ball in. There's a lot of positives to take from there. But if you see something that you think somebody isn't playing to the same level as others, and right, you can think on it. Basuma was another one who, for me, was quite poor today. Basuma giving away silly balls and all that. Giving away silly balls, and he almost led to the first goal. And he was just like, when we had the ball, we were doing nothing passing. He was there and keeping the ball ticking over. But when it came to most actual things happening with Spurs, he was a bit off the pace. But like I said, great performance, 3 points and all that. Moving on, but you can still criticise if you think not everything's perfect for Spurs. Otherwise, you can higher up the table.
Can I challenge your point on Basuma? Because I think the Kulusevski argument and the fact that we both think he had a bad performance, he just had 3 good moments, it also flips into Basuma, because I think he had a good game. You're just remembering that one mistake that he had when he almost gave up a goal, and you're thinking he has a bad performance off of that one mistake. I thought Basuma was good today.
No. When they were playing the ball over the top, and having loads of luck and all that, he's meant to be the deep line midfielder to help them guys out, and he was nowhere, and they were getting to, like, Romero and all that was out of position because Basuma's meant to be there covering. So he was quite out of position loads of times during that when they were doing the long ball at Aston Villa. So it's not just about what he's doing in midfield. When he's the deep line midfielder, when we play and we have the fullbacks go up, he's meant to be in that position helping out. And he was nowhere to be seen when they were getting in behind us, when Watkins and that were in behind us with speed. He's meant to be that third person to help out, and he wasn't there. So he was out of position loads of times.
He was.
That's what I'm saying. So he didn't do everything wrong. He was just, for me, he had a poor game, and he's meant to be doing that. He's meant to be helping the other two.
I disagree. He had a 96% pass accuracy. Like, you know how incredible that is. 96% pass accuracy. I think he had a good game today. I think Basuma, like, attacking. I hear you that he was out of position a couple times, but I think in general he had a good game.
I'm going to go to some of these super chats here. First one from Aya says, Leon Bailey is a horrendous footballer. Udogie didn't have much to worry about, so calm down.
Fair enough.
Leon Bailey's not a bad footballer. He's actually, I would take him.
Yeah. Jerome here says, I'd rather have an average Kulu with 3 assists than a good Kulu with no goals or assists to show for it, no matter how bad his game is. But this hard work cannot be looked down. Just interesting. We were watching the game. My brother and Phil, my mate, who was over yesterday watching the fighting. And we were all sitting there saying Spurs are so entertaining. And I said to my brother, I said, a lot of Spurs fans have not been that happy with how they've played football this year. And he was looking at me like, why? It's so entertaining. I said, because I agree with Spurs fans. It must be nerve-wracking watching the way you play, because it's a bit like a basketball match. Both teams attack. I mean, he obviously did his hamstring, it looked like again today, Van der Ven. And a lot of that is because he has to run back so much because of the high line. So I understand why it's nerve-wracking. I think as fans, when it's their own team, we just want to have loads of the ball, loads of chances, and our opponents rarely get anywhere near our goal. But I do get it. I do get what you're saying there, Jerome. Spurs third. Accept it, y'all. It's coming. Ooh, third for Spurs.
I've been saying this for a while now, but I think it's a little bit too late. I've been saying this since January that we should be fighting.
Are you confident of top 4, Dan? Are you confident of top 4?
No,
now?
yeah, I'm very confident of top 4. Something like drastic would have to happen for us to drop out, because now we're still not in the top 4, but we have a game in hand. And we're 2 points off, so now it's in our hands. So,
and that's only against Chelsea. So that's
I agree with Simon, by the way.
Sorry, bro.
I agree with Simon. I agree with that comment. I've been shouting that Spurs will finish top 3 all season. Look, one of the teams that I'm not going to mention, I expect to lose 3 games before the end of the season. And one of those teams, the team I'm talking about, still has to come to my gaff. That team will lose 3 games, and if Tottenham go on a run where we don't lose any more games between now and the end of the season, then it's not impossible. It's not impossible that Spurs could do it. I'm not saying we will do it.
What team is losing 3 games and you're going to finish ahead of? What team is that?
I'd rather not say, because people keep calling me a bit of a hater, and I don't want to be seen as a hater because they're playing some good football. But, you know, there is a team that I think can potentially fall off.
Do they wear red or blue?
They wear red.
Oh, it might be Liverpool. I think it could be Liverpool.
Well, I'm just saying. People are getting carried away, shaking their bum. But actually, let's just see what the next couple of games hold. But if that team was to lose 3 games, it's game on.
Yeah, I mean, if you and Villa that are above Man United lose your next 3 games and we win ours, we'll be in the top 4. These things can happen. Who should this year says people are missing the point on what Anne said. We've seen firsthand Champions League does not that does nothing for us as a club because it's all the owners want. Open for them to change, but don't trust them in the slightest. I hear, yeah, no, I got what Andrew's saying once we've all gone through it. Spurs play top 3 and have their say on the winners. Yeah, Spurs will definitely have a say on who wins this Premier League. There's no doubt.
I say we beat Arsenal and we let Man City and Liverpool beat us to stop Arsenal from winning the Premier League.
But you want to get third. That's a really sensible philosophy. Well done.
I'm joking.
Deji moving like Ice Spice in John Wick film with all the violent bum shaking. This guy is a madman, is what Twinny's got to say here. Is a title race on, is what James says.
Never was.
No, it was at one point. It was.
No, it wasn't.
No. I genuinely believe it. That Chelsea game didn't happen when we started the injury crisis. We would be up in there like in a title race right now. We'd be like 2 points off, I think, right now.
James here is the gooner says no chance in hell that you'll finish above us. Stop smoking. Yeah, I think Spurs will finish fourth. I don't mean it. The other ones are above are they're just slightly better, and especially maybe you're talking Deji's talking Arsenal. Can't see Arsenal collapsing and finishing below Spurs. I can see them not winning the league. That's definitely plausible, but yeah. Thank you, Simon, by the way, for gifting 10 memberships to Football Terrace viewers. Thank you very much indeed. Jerome here says, Alan, careful what you say. The football gods are listening, and I would not jinx it if I were you. Now, mate, the football gods are not going to let Man United finish in the top 4. It's not happening.
I think Jerome needs to listen to exactly what I said. I didn't say Spurs were guaranteed fourth. I said if we put Villa under pressure now and get the points on the board ahead of our hard run, then we should be able to get top 4 because we've got a tough run and we've got to negotiate at the end of the season. We'll navigate, sorry, not negotiate. What the fuck was I talking about? Never mind, carry on.
Here is Deji living on a prayer. It's a great song, that. Who should come fourth then? I think Spurs should from here. I think Spurs are better than Villa. I think Unai Emery's a bottle job. I really do think he's a bottle job. When the pressure is on, this man's pupper goes, bruv. This man bottles it. Spurs play top 3. Oh, sorry, already done that one. How will And respond to pressure next year?
Amazingly. I mean, he's already been put under pressure. He's already been put under pressure. This is a job that he's been given. His first major job. Look how he's done. Look how he's handled a board that is known around the world for being stubborn. This is a guy who's just come into a team losing the greatest player this club has ever seen in Harry Kane. How is this guy not performed under pressure right now? If this is not pressure, I don't know what is.
I think the way it's asked is how will he perform next year under pressure. So he's coming this season. We lost Harry Kane at the end of the season. A lot of rival fans and that had us low mid-table to bottom half. Maybe some were even talking, you're going to get relegated without Harry Kane. He's come in and done a sensational job, and so it's basically like now people expect Spurs to be around this area, and then we're going to hopefully improve and buy the players Ange wants. What type of pressure is on him? Like now people expect him to get this. Will he drop off? So I still think he'll deal with it well, depending on how they back him. If they give him the players he wants, I agree. I've said it numerous times on my own channel. I think if they have Ange can build a squad of players between 25 to 50 million. I don't think he needs to go and do 80, 90 million on each player. I think that's how you build a squad. And then when he gets his squad, again, I will always say 2 to 3 years down the line, I think we'll win trophies. I really do under this manager. But we've got to get to that point first, and they've got to back him. If he falls short because of not being backed like other managers, then Spurs as fans need to do something to get these owners out. But that's a different topic for another time.
I hear you on that. McGinn unlocked his inner Matty Cash. Shout out to Deji Minaj. I knew he would come on here shaking his bum violently, is what MB has got to say. Jonathan here says, let's not stop at top 3. If Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal and Villa lose out, Spurs win out, they can win the title. Spot on, Alan. Expectations different next year is what Fayez says. If Villa had taken their chances in the first half, totally different game. They didn't really have chances. Both teams did the same thing in the first half. There was openings and opportunities, but no real chances. That's the way it was. I sort of viewed it, AMT, personally. Terry, did you see Liverpool's lineup going to be hard? 25 years. I'm going to say 25 years, 2 wins City have had at your stadium. And I don't think this Liverpool team's scared of City. City are susceptible to counter-attacks and are still I still think Liverpool can win today, but City should be winning. But we'll be live. We will be live after that game, so make sure you're all back here because I think whatever happens, it's going to be a interesting afternoon indeed. You know, Deji gone cook Mo Judge. I don't know that. You're going to cook Judge Mo. Fair enough. Cheers. Guys, I want to thank you all very, very much for coming on and having your say. I really do appreciate it. All of the super chatters, you're amazing. Please hit the like button before you leave. As I say, we're live after City take on Liverpool at Anfield. Until next time, take care. Goodbye.
Come on, Liverpool.
And I'll see you all again